Hello students. After few days gap in 10th standard, animal hormones or human hormones. That chapter we are going to start. From this, directly we are going to start the parathyroid gland. Okay. So now you see the picture of parathyroid gland. It is located at the neck, just back to thyroid gland. There are superior and inferior parathyroid glands. They are pair in number. Below the pharynx, below the larynx, just above the trachea, we have this parathyroid gland. Now you are seeing the structure. There are four small oval bodies situated on the posterior surface of thyroid lobes. The chief cells of the gland are mainly concerned with the secretion of parathormone. It is a hormone secreted from parathyroid gland. So what is the next one? The parathormone hormone is secreted. What is the function of the parathormone? Which regulates a calcium and phosphorus metabolism in our body. So I like to tell one information. When there is a calcium in the bone and less calcium in our cells, in the blood also, in blood plasma, this is irregular condition. So what will happen? Our body cells will collect the calcium from the bone, but this parathormone which regulates the calcium metabolism in our body, phosphorus also, and they act on bone, kidney and intestine to maintain blood calcium level. This is the main reason I am saying this. Okay. What are the dysfunction of the parathyroid gland? Removal of parathyroid gland during a thyroidectomy, which means removal of thyroid, causes decreased or altered secretion of parathormone hormone. What will be its result? So removal of parathyroid gland, when it will happen? It will happen when there is a thyroidectomy. So what is the result? Muscle spasm known as tetany, which means sustained contraction of muscles in face, larynx, hands and feet. Okay, this is the first effect. Then painful cramp of limb muscles. Limb, we have limb in our body. A pair of limb is there. Is nothing but our hands and the leg. There will be a painful cramp in our limb muscles when there is a dysfunction of parathyroid gland. Then you are seeing a question. See, which of the following statements is true regarding the parathyroid gland? It is related to what we have seen in the parathyroid gland. What are the options given? You see, it is situated in the lower anterior end of the thyroid gland. B, it is situated at the top of the thyroid gland. It is situated in the anterior surface of the thyroid gland. It is situated in the posterior surface of the thyroid gland. Answer is D. It is situated in the posterior surface of the thyroid gland. So next title we are going to see. It is also about the parathyroid hormone. But one more question we will discuss, then we will see the title. Which of the following function is true regarding the parathyroid hormone? Thyroidectomy causes increased or altered secretion of parathormone, helps to maintain the blood calcium level. F cell of the parathyroid reduces secretion of pancreatic digestive juices, none. What is true is help to maintain blood calcium level. You can ask, thyroidectomy cause increased secretion of parathormone? No, thyroidectomy, which means removal of the thyroid, which causes decreased secretion of parathyroid. And F cell, there is no F cell in the parathyroid hormone, only the cheap cells are there. Okay, right. So option B is the right one. Next, we are going to see the pancreas. So, what is pancreas? It is abdominal gland present left to our liver. It is a leaf-like gland also. Let me start what is discussed in the book. Pancreas is an elongated yellowish gland situated in the loop of stomach and duodenum. Duodenum, it is a digestive tract. It is a U-shaped digestive tract area. Okay. This pancreas situated in the loop of stomach and the duodenum. And it is exocrine and endocrine in nature, which means what? Ductless and ducted. This is a meaning. Exocrine and endocrine in nature. The exocrine part of the pancreas secrete pancreatic juice, which plays a role in digestion. What about the endocrine portion? Is made up of islets of Langerhans. It is the cell which made into the pancreatic tissue. You are seeing the structure of the pancreas. See, you are seeing blood vessels directly connected to the pancreas. This is the duodenum part. Okay, C-shaped structure, and this is the pancreas. Okay, so there are so many cells in the pancreas. They are playing endocrine and exocrine part. It is a main function. They are involved in exocrine and endocrine part. Functions of the pancreatic hormone. A balance between insulin and glucagon production is necessary to maintain blood glucose concentration. Blood glucose concentration. Blood is nothing but it is a fluid connective tissue. In this fluid connective tissue, we have two different components. One is blood plasma, another one is formed elements. Blood plasma, it is a 65% of the total blood, in which minerals, vitamins, carbohydrate, proteins, urea, enzymes, hormones, all those non-cellular components are present. So this pancreatic hormone is necessary to maintain blood glucose concentration in our body. It is controlled by insulin and glucagon hormones production from the pancreatic tissues. Islets of Langerhans, they are performing endocrine function. So what are the specific cells are present and its functions? What consist of islets of Langerhans consist of two major types of cells, only alpha cells and beta cells. Alpha cells are secreting glucagon hormone and the beta cells secreting insulin hormone. Other types of cells are delta cell, which secrete somatostatin. It can inhibit alpha and beta cells and its function. And another one cell, it is called polypeptide cell. This is also called F cell, which reduces the secretion of pancreatic digestive juice. So there are four major cells in the islets of Langerhans: alpha cells, beta cells, delta cells and F cells. Delta cells and F cells are reducing the functions of alpha cells and beta cells. Okay. What is the discovery of insulin? Human insulin was first discovered by Frederick Banting, Charles Best and MacLeod in the year 1921. And it was used in the treatment of diabetes on 11th January of 1922, in the year 1922. It is additional information. What are the functions of insulin? Insulin helps in the conversion of glucose into glycogen, which is stored in liver and skeletal muscles. You have to underline this line in your book. It is conversion of glucose into glycogen. Glucose is a small simple carbohydrate. Glycogen is a complex carbohydrate. So one state of carbohydrate is modified into other state of carbohydrate structure only with the help of this insulin hormone. And this is stored in the liver and skeletal muscles. Skeletal muscles are dense connective tissue. So it is very important. Muscle formation is because of this glycogen formation, insulin's function. Then it promotes the transport of glucose into the cells. Promotion of transportation of glucose into the cell is because of the insulin. Then it decreases the concentration of glucose in the blood. When the cells are drawn back and which are converted into glycogen, then it is stored in the liver and muscle, skeletal muscle. Then we have to understand the proper level of glucose is maintained in the blood. So over accumulation of glucose is decreased because of the function of insulin. So what are the functions of glucagon? Is another one hormone secreted by pancreatic tissue. Glucagon hormone helps in the breakdown of glycogen to glucose. It's a reversal process. Insulin conversion of the glucose into glycogen. Glucagon breakdown of glycogen into glucose. It is called glycogenolysis in the liver, which happened, breakdown of glycogen happen in the liver. Okay, it increases the blood glucose level. You consider this condition of glucagon. When we are in fasting, the stored glycogen in the liver and skeletal muscle, the breakdown of glycogen will happen in the liver, and ultimately the glucose will be introduced again into the bloodstream. We will feel what, a little bit energy when we are in fasting. Okay, next, what are the deficiency of insulin? Ultimately everyone knows about this diabetes mellitus. It is the first type of diabetes. So we are seeing 5 different subtitles: hyperglycemia, glycosuria, polyuria, polyuria, polydipsia, and polyphagia. What are they? Increase in the blood glucose level, it is hyperglycemia. Excretion of excess glucose in the urine, glucosuria. Frequent urination called polyuria. Increased thirsty condition is polydipsia. Increase in appetite is polyphagia. Do you understand what is the meaning of appetite? Want of eating more times, always eating, that is polyphagia, excessive eating. Dehydration is the main reason for our thirsty condition. So frequently we will drink water or will have food, liquid food or juice like that. So this is a deficiency of insulin, nothing but the diabetes mellitus. If these conditions are there in a patient, we will confirm that it is a diabetes mellitus condition. Now we are going to start another one gland and its secretion. It is the adrenal gland. The adrenal glands are located above each kidney. So kidney we have pair. Each kidney just above over we have adrenal gland. That is why they are called a suprarenal gland. Renal in Greek it is kidney. Supra means above. So suprarenal gland. The outer part of adrenal gland is the adrenal cortex and the inner part is the adrenal medulla. So now you see the picture. So which one is the cortex, which one is the medulla? This is the cortex area, this is outer, and the inner region it is a medulla. In between them the blood vessels are there, blood vessels. Okay, so this is one more structure. Now you are seeing the gland. Again, outer part is the adrenal cortex and the inner part is the adrenal medulla. These two distinct parts structurally and functionally different in the adrenal gland because they are going to perform different functions. So structurally and functionally they are different. So just now we have seen, we are seeing that adrenal gland just above this kidney structure, above this kidney structure. So this is the kidney area. Above that we have this adrenal gland, right? And this is a cross section of the adrenal gland, as we have seen, outer cortex and inner medulla area. Okay, always these two are connected by the blood vessels. Outermost surface, it is called what? Capsule. Okay, let me see what are the other points about the adrenal gland. Adrenal cortex, there are three layers of cells which are present in the adrenal cortex. See, what are the three layers? They are innermost. I am starting from the innermost. It is called zona reticularis. The middle one, zona fasciculata, and the outermost one, zona glomerulosa. So these three are important structures. These three are what? Important structures. So innermost one is the zona reticularis, outermost one is a zona glomerulosa, middle one is a zona fasciculata. So this is the cross section of the adrenal gland, in which we are seeing only adrenal cortex consisting of three different layers of cells. Okay, now we are seeing what are the hormones of the adrenal cortex. Adrenal cortex secreting corticosteroids, so which is classified into glucocorticoids and mineralocorticoids. These two are adrenocorticoids, is a common name. So commonly adrenocorticoids means glucocorticoids and mineralocorticoids. Glucocorticoids, which are secreted by the zona fasciculata. Okay, zona fasciculata is what? Zona fasciculata is the middle zone, middle layer of the adrenal cortex, middle layer of the adrenal cortex. So here you are seeing that middle region of the adrenal cortex is responsible for glucocorticoid secretion. That glucocorticoid secreted from the zona fasciculata are called cortisol and corticosterone, steroid hormone. Okay, corticosterone. Then glucocorticoids, what are the functions of cortisol and corticosterone? They regulate cell metabolism. It stimulates the formation of glucose from glycogen in the liver. It is an anti-inflammatory and anti-allergic agent. So you have to underline this: anti-inflammatory and anti-allergic agent, because this is playing a very important role. When there is a bacterial infection or a viral infection, our skin is the first place where we can find some changes. So during that, when there is a mosquito bite or beetle bite or any other, there is a swelling in our skin, that towards that the cortisol and corticosteroid hormone, sterone, can be secreted towards that inflammatory area or allergic area to control, to overcome the problem. And what you are seeing in the second point, it stimulates the formation of glucose from glycogen in the liver. So this is supporting the insulin, and there is a lack of insulin secretion sometimes. This cortisol and corticosterone sometimes may stimulate the formation of glucose from glycogen. Okay, glucose from glycogen. So it is a breakdown of glycogen which produces glucose. Then they regulate cell metabolism. It is a common function. Cell metabolic activity is controlled. Then mineralocorticoids, this is secreted from zona glomerulosa, outermost layer of the adrenal cortex, which is responsible for aldosterone hormone. Aldosterone, again steroid hormone. So, what is the function? It helps to reabsorb sodium ions from the renal tubules. Renal tubules, renal means kidney, tube. So, there are so many regions inside the kidney, in each kidney. This helps to reabsorb the sodium ions. So, reabsorption of the ions, it is a very important process during the urine formation. So, it is very important. Sodium ions are playing a very important role to maintain a normal condition. Okay, right. Normal condition, self and non-self. To differentiate this thing, we need sodium ions. Second one, it causes increased degradation of potassium ions. So when there is a movement of electrical impulses from one neuron to another neuron, there is a need of transportation of ions. So when this is involved, means mineralocorticoids are involved, which causes increased excretion of potassium ions. So sometimes it may lead to a faster conduction of nerve impulse. Third important point, it regulates electrolyte balance, body fluid volume, osmotic pressure and blood pressure. This point is very important. Note this point. So what is discussed at the third, regulates electrolyte balance, body fluid volume, osmotic pressure and blood pressure. Electrolyte is nothing but ionic components in our body volume. So body fluids are nothing but blood and the lymph. Body fluids are very important. Then osmotic pressure, movement of the liquid substances from cell to cell because of the pressure, and the blood pressure, which depending directly about the presence of glucose, carbohydrate in our body. All those things are maintained by mineralocorticoid. So it is secreted from zona glomerulosa. It is outermost region of adrenal cortex area. Now, next one, more to know part from your book. The cortisol hormone of adrenal cortex serves to maintain the body in living condition and recover it from the severe effects of stress reaction. When there is a stress due to fever, due to high temperature, due to headache, there are so many reasons for our stress condition. So stress conditions are very differ from person to person. To recover from the stressed condition or severe effects of the stressed condition, the cortisol hormone secreted from the adrenal cortex is a very important one to maintain the living condition. And there is a very important function based on the first point. Thus, it increasing the output of cortisol is life-saving hormone in shock condition. It is also known as life-saving hormone. Life-saving hormone. Why? It is to maintain the living condition. That is why it is called life-saving hormone. Life-saving, it is very important function performed by cortisol hormone. Okay. Now, again, adrenal medulla. Adrenal medulla, when we take a cross section of the adrenal gland, inner region where there is a fluid connective tissue called blood is linked, it is called adrenal medulla area. Adrenal medulla is composed of chromaffin cells. So underline that. It may be a very important one mark question. Chromaffin cells, because in pancreas we have seen 4 different types of cells: alpha cells, beta cells. Everyone will understand what is the function of alpha cell and beta cell. But what about the delta cell and F cell? We have discussed it. Is not discussed in our book. So kindly understand chromaffin cells. They are richly supplied with the sympathetic and parasympathetic nerves. Sympathetic and parasympathetic nerves, they are autonomic nervous system. They are always connected with all the different organs in our body, to which this adrenal medulla is directly linked. Okay, kindly note this point. Hormones of adrenal medulla are epinephrine and norepinephrine. This epinephrine is also called adrenaline. Norepinephrine is also called noradrenaline. They are together called as emergency hormone. So before few minutes we have seen that life-saving hormone, it is cortisol. Now you are seeing that emergency hormone, epinephrine and norepinephrine are called what? Emergency hormone. Why? It is secreted during conditions of stress and emotion. Living condition is maintained to escape from the severe effect of the stressed condition. We need cortisol, but this one you see secreted during conditions of stress and emotion. Okay, hence it is also called flight, fright and fight hormone. See, in your age, if you are driving a bike about the speed of more than 60 kilometer, so suddenly there is a vehicle which is coming against you. You are trying to overtake a car. That time there is a chance of secreting hormones from the adrenal medulla, because it is emergency hormone. This is emergency stress condition. It is your emotional condition. Okay. Unfortunately, if you are seeing an accident where a small child you are seeing with a crying injuries and very severe injuries, that time you will emotionally you will see, your observation will be very emotional. That time also this adrenal medulla will secrete its hormone, epinephrine and norepinephrine. We can give so many examples for these emergency hormones. Okay, what are the functions of this adrenaline? It promotes the conversion of glycogen to glucose in liver and skeletal muscles. Again, glycogenolysis, breakdown of glycogen into glucose. Second, it increases heartbeat and blood pressure. So, if you are doing something wrong against the nature, antisocial activity, and someone is watching your antisocial activity or wrong activity, immediately when you see that person or the camera which is watching you, your heartbeat will be increased, thereby increases the blood pressure. But what about the third point? It increases the rate of respiration by the dilation of bronchi and trachea. Dilation of bronchi and trachea, it is in your respiratory tract, just below the neck region. So your heartbeat will be increased automatically when someone is watching your antisocial activity. But voluntarily and involuntarily, some of the muscles are moving in our body. This is also controlled by the adrenaline, in which it causes dilation of pupil in eye, and it decreases blood flow to the skin. These 2 points are coming. What about the next? We are going to see the norepinephrine or noradrenaline. Almost all the actions are similar to the epinephrine. So all the points we can say for noradrenaline also. Now we are starting reproductive glands. The sex glands are of two types, the testes and the ovaries. The testes are present in males while the ovaries are in female. Testes are the reproductive glands of the males. They are composed of three different regions. Only we are saying that three different regions in hormone title. Several points and the parts we have to label, in which seminiferous tubule, from that only the spermatogenesis will start. Leydig cells performing the endocrine function, Sertoli cells Once after the production of sperm, it will be nourishing the sperms. So Leydig cells are forming the endocrine part of the testis. They secrete the hormone called testosterone. Again, it is also a steroid hormone. What are the functions of this testosterone? Which influences the process of spermatogenesis, sperm production. After the mitosis and meiosis, sperm should be formed from the seminiferal tubule in each testis of our body. It is influenced by the hormone testosterone, and this is stimulating the protein synthesis, thereby which controls the muscular activity, muscular growth. So muscular growth is directly controlled by the male sex hormone. From the childhood stage to the adult stage, there is a change in our body. When we reach the adolescent period, the maximum growth will be attained. It is because of the hormone testosterone. And the last point, it is responsible for the development of secondary sexual characters, which means distribution of hair on the body and face, deep voice pattern, etc. These are the functions, maximum main functions of the testosterone. Now, ovaries. Ovaries are the female gonad. So what do you mean by the word gonad? It's nothing but the ovary region. It is located in the pelvic cavity of the abdomen, the lowermost pelvic region, the cavity of the abdomen. They secrete two different hormones. They are estrogen and progesterone. They are very important. Now we will start what is given in the estrogen. Estrogen is produced by the Graafian follicle. So what is Graafian follicle? Inside the ovary, after the puberty starts at the age of 13 in India, the primary follicle becomes secondary follicle becomes a tertiary becomes mature. This mature is nothing but Graafian follicle. The Graafian follicle, it is a mature follicle. This estrogen is the reason for fusion, because Graafian follicles are secreting the estrogen hormone during the matured condition of the ovum. Matured ovum is ready to fertilize. It is called Graafian follicle structure. And the hormone progesterone produced from the corpus luteum, that is formed in the ovary from the ruptured follicles during ovulation. So what will happen when the ovum fertilized or when does not fertilized? If the ovum fertilized, it becomes zygote. If the ovum is not fertilized, it will rupture. Corpus luteum is after the formation of Graafian follicle, after attaining this Graafian follicle structure. When it is ruptured, during that time the hormone progesterone will be released. That is very important one for ovulation. During the ovulation condition, it may cause the menstruation period, menstruation time, menstruation. Now let me see functions of estrogen. Functions of estrogen, it brings about the changes that occur during the puberty, and it initiates the process of oogenesis. It stimulates the maturation of ovarian follicle in the ovary. It promotes the development of secondary sexual characters. First we will start the first point. It brings about the changes that occurs during the puberty. It is a bodily change, muscles formation, attaining the female structure. And second, it initiates the process of oogenesis. Primary, secondary, tertiary Graafian follicles formation and releasing the ovum during the menstrual cycle. It is oogenesis. Number 3, stimulates the maturation of ovarian follicle in the ovary. To attain the mature condition by the ovum, it is because of the estrogen hormone. Because of that only, the ovum is ready to fertilize, it may become the embryo. Last point, development of secondary sexual characters, breast development, high pitched voice, etc., are all included in this point. Now, what are the functions of progesterone? It is responsible for menstrual changes of the uterus. Premenstrual changes of the uterus. Premenstrual changes, it is because of progesterone. Second, prepares the uterus for the implantation of embryo. For this point, I like to give some information. See, this is most important point. After the zygote formation, which means what? The menstruation not happen. The ovum is fertilized. Zygote is formed. It is going to implant in the innermost layer of the uterus called endometrium. That is called implantation. So this implantation process needs some preparation. This preparation is because of the hormone progesterone, and it maintains the pregnancy of the female. Last point, it is essential for the formation of placenta. Like that, this point also, embryo point like that, this point also very important. Placenta, which connects the embryo with the mother, through which only the food will be given from mother to the child, through which only the excretory products of the child will be released out to the tract of the mother. So this is the function of progesterone, and it is very important function. Now we are at the end of this chapter. We are starting the thymus gland. First you will see the structure. It is a partly an endocrine gland and a partly a lymphoid gland, like pancreas. What we have seen in the pancreas. Pancreas is partially endocrine, partially exocrine. Like that, this is also, but endocrine gland and lymphoid gland. Lymphoid, which is directly involved in the immune function. It is located in the upper part of the chest, above the heart, which covering the lower end of the trachea. The upper part of the chest covering the lower end of the trachea. How to understand? Come. This is the picture. See the thymus gland just above the heart. Just above the heart. This is the heart. It's a heart area. Above the heart, we have a pair of thymus gland. It is a junction. The trachea has its branch to right and left lungs. At the junction, the thymus gland covers the junction of the trachea. And this side you are seeing that right and left lobe. This is very important. And this is the book diagram. See this one. Like adrenal gland, you are seeing cortex and medulla. Inner medulla, outer cortex, from which only the hormones will be secreted from the thymus gland. You have to understand this. So this is, we are seeing thymosin is the hormone secreted by the thymus gland. Okay, this is a meaning for this point. Location we have seen. Now the hormone secreted by the thymus, we are seeing it is a thymosin hormone. Thymosin hormone. Okay. Now functions of the thymus gland. It has a stimulatory effect on the immune function. Immunity, it is by the birth itself we have, by the mother's milk, every small child have received the immune power. To stimulate the immune function, we need this thymus activity, thymus gland, thymosin function. Second, which stimulates the production and differentiation of lymphocytes. Lymphocytes are what? Lymphocytes are the cells of white blood corpuscles. There are about 20 to 25% of lymphocytes in white blood corpuscles. They are coming under agranulocytes. Granules are absent. They are responsible for immune function. These lymphocytes production and differentiation because of this thymus gland is very important one. These 2 points are the functions of thymus gland. Okay, so we have seen the maximum hormone titles and maximum hormone functions, its structures also in the aspect of human hormone chapter. We will see the next chapter in our next video. Try to subscribe our channel and don't forget to touch the bell button. If you have any doubt, please give your comment. Thank you, students.